Hello, everyone. How's it going? This is the bald metal nerd coming at you with an awesome video. And I'm probably going to get a lot of new viewers on this video in particular because of what I'm going to be talking about. So, welcome, new viewers who are looking for confirmation bias and or some information about the new Tool album. I am here to provide both of those things to you, as I doubt there's really too many people out here who are watching this who aren't already Tool fans. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. What did I think about Tool's latest album, Fear Inoculum? Or Inoculum, I can't pronounce it. It's been how many days since this came out again? A couple. Has it been 10,000? Close enough. So, how good is the first Tool album, the first new Tool album in 13 years? Well, we'll get into that. Let's go ahead and we're going to do a quick track by track breakdown. And you're going to hear me use a lot of the same language describing a lot of these tracks, well, because they share a lot of commonalities. So I apologize for that in advance. Let's go ahead and dive into this. Track one is the title track, Fear Incoculum. It's a heavily multi-layered progressive track that takes many twists and turns. Honestly, nothing we haven't heard from Tool before, and it was, the first song to be released from this album. It was trippy, progressive, and had heavy parts. I know, shocker of shockers, right? Second track is Pneuma. Yeah, Pneuma. Very progressive and trippy, multi-layered. I know, surprising. Track 3, Invincible. This one had some tribal sounding stuff in the beginning, and then it goes into a great bass line, and then of course you get the guitars again, progressive and multi-layered with plenty of heavy in the song. And there's some amazing subtle touches in there as well. In the latter part of the track, there's a really interesting distortion filter they applied to Maynard's voice for a bit. Plus, the soundscape gets extremely intricate, which, to be fair, is fairly omnipresent in the album, but they really kick it up to high gear in that bit on the song. Track 4, Descending, starts with ocean sounds. Then you get a mellow Tool sound riff and singing, and then you get a semi-ambient progressive Tool track for a while. And, of course, layering of soundscapes. I know, shocking. And the intensity starts to build in the song, and of course the heavy starts at around the 5-minute and 30-second mark. In the latter part of the song, they insert some very interesting sound effects and synths. Track 5 is Calling Voices. It starts out, again, mellow for a Tool song, and it stays that way for more than 6 minutes of the song. And then, of course, they bring the heavy, because that's what Tool does. But it flows incredibly well, and they have a cool fuzz sounding riff in the song. After a very heavy bit, the song ends on an ambient note. And then we got track 6, Chocolate Chip Trip. Starts with bells, and then you get a variety of various synth noises, and it's an instrumental track. Actual drums start around the 2-minute mark and kind of go throughout the rest of the song, but it's basically just synths and drums. And then the last track, which is over 15 minutes, is 7 Empest. It starts with a very mellow, almost interlude style, and then you get a cool riff, and the bass and drums kick in. And then it's off to the races. You get basically, this song is probably the most old school Tool song on the album. What I mean by that is it alternates basically between what I would call the classic Tool heavy sound and the classic Tool progressive sound. And it just kind of alternates between those two. It's a very interesting and great track, and it flows together really well. So, what are some of the things that are the same in all of the tracks? Obviously, this is a Tool album, right? So we know some things are going to be in there. We're going to have soundscapes galore, and my God, does this album deliver? We're going to have intricacy galore. Does this album deliver. We're going to have just all kinds of really cool shit. And yes, this album delivers. None of the tracks except for the instrumental are less than 10 minutes long, but they don't feel long. They are extremely interesting, extremely well done, multi-layered. One thing that immediately struck me about this album, in addition to how good the music is how awesome the production is. Holy crap, it sounds, just the production value on this album is absolutely top notch, knocking it out of the park, total home run. Um, now to be fair, I've only listened to this album once. I know I've missed a lot, but that's okay because it's a Tool album. It's something I'm going to listen to again and again and again and again and again and again, and eventually I'll get it. In an interview, Maynard said that this would be a difficult album to digest. I guess that's true, but it's definitely not hard to get into. If you're remotely a Tool fan, you're gonna love this. Um, I wouldn't suggest new Tool fans start out with this. If, of course, no one who's new to the band is watching this video. If you are, hi, one person who is. Start with Undertow. That's a much better starting point than this. But if you are an established Tool fan, like probably everyone else watching this, you're gonna love this album. It's absolutely amazing. It feels almost foolish to give this any sort of a numerical rating right now. I can tell just by listening, just by my cursory listen to it. This is easily going to be one of the best albums of 2019, without a doubt. But it's a Tool album. That's not surprising. They're an absolutely incredible band. I've called them the Pink Floyd of the modern age. I don't know how many times, and this album just continues in that tradition. So I don't really know what else to say. Just absolutely amazing. It's definitely a must buy for me. And down in the comments below, please don't ask me where I found the album early online. If you're too stupid to use the internet to find this on your own, that's your problem. So don't ask me to link the download. I'm not going to do that. Lastly, if you are new to the channel and that last comment didn't offend you too much, because I know I probably have some new people watching this, please, please, please consider subscribing. If you check around my channel, you see I try to do music reviews somewhat regularly. And for an anticipated album like this, I definitely make an effort to get album reviews out as soon as I can, just so people have some impression of what this is. So anyway, that's pretty much it. If you like this, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Share. We already said subscribe. All of that great stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Live long and prosper.